Welcome back. I'm Fiona Mboa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries. And before the break, we've been talking about mental health with Agaba. And I told you there's no expert in marriage. We're just here to share experiences. And it's so sad that where we stopped, like someone kills themselves and you're coming out to say, I saw that.
We speak actually about them on the vigil.
But what have we done about it?
Nothing. We just talk about them on the other side. Say, Mrs. Mbowa is going through a lot of challenges by the husband is misbehaving.
But she's misbehaving, but what, okay, actually let's start from there. For us as friends, what can we do?
I think it's more to do with, me I always tell people, first is we need to pray for each other. We need to honestly pray for one another. Because the Bible says that a prayer of a righteous man avails much. And I have seen prayers changing people's families, people's marriages, people's homes. But also, on top of that, we also need to work towards change. The people who are not advocate for change, I'm telling you the truth. There are people who are not advocate for change. You know, Mr. Mbowa, very well is your friend, you started together, but you know how he's treating the wife, and for you, your job is,
Castor, it's not me they are mistreating.
Sometimes they don't even like you in the beginning.
So they think you deserve it.
Say, they deserve that.
It, Kabamuku.
That girl, I remember when they were dating me, I told him.
I never liked it.
We have friends who don't like our
wives and
Yes.
husbands, definitely.
From the beginning, the guy was telling me, they shouldn't get married to that girl. Or telling the
But if you
girl.
ask them how, why?
Like now telling my wife Faith that, Faith, don't get married to Moses. Moses is not what you think he is. Now, anything slightly that happens, and maybe she goes and shares with that very person. I told you. Instead of advising this girl that, you know what, he will change. Maybe he's like this. Maybe, have you talked to him? He's like, Faith, we told you. Faith, we warned you.
And you insisted.
Did you listen? You didn't. Now you face it. I told you that man. You are gone.
So how does poor mental health affect our marriages? How does it impact our marriages?
It totally does so in the negative way. Maybe just a flashback is when people lose their mind. In most cases, it's a gradual growth. Sometimes these reactions are not.
It's not
instant. You don't see them instantly. Like someone is mad at you, just beating
slaps
you,
you.
Slaps you. No. Sometimes people have issues with anger. Maybe sometime we will also talk about the anger issue. The people who are naturally short-tempered.
About anger issues.
Now, don't misunderstand this. Anger and what?
And
mental health. There are people who have anger issues.
Like it is, I need to write that so that we are able to do what?
To differentiate.
To talk about it at some point.
Yeah. Yes. So when someone is in the other line of anger, sometimes they are not stressed.
It's just an outlet.
Exactly.
And do you know that those people are even better than the ones who keep quiet? You hurt me, I will lash at you and I move on.
And actually, such marriages are by the last. I'm telling you the truth.
You hurt me, I slap you, we go on.
I have an auntie of mine who used to fight with her husband up to now. Auntie, I'm sorry if you are watching, but the thing is, up to now.
They're still beating each other. But
now they have gone that.
But they're together.
For us, we used to think when we were young that eventually one day
she will leave.
Actually, she used to leave sometimes.
And get back.
Up to now. Over they have around how many children? It is okay.
And they are okay.
They are okay. Now they are old.
But the silent ones.
Now, the silent one, you see, the Bible says that at the fullest of the heart, the mouth speaks. When someone is angered about some situations, say, I don't like this, Moses. That person is actually relieved.
It becomes relieved.
The next 5 minutes, you are in a honeymoon. You are in a honeymoon. And you think about if you are the one who has been advising such a couple.
You
Actually,
are
now
there
you are the
angry with them, now they-
that is
they
where
hate
the
you.
talk of the day says that don't enter into people who are in love.
Don't advise love.
Don't advise them. Now those are people who are not are being affected by mental situations. For them now they have anger issues
And they get their solutions there
instantly.
and they
Actually,
feel
for them they
relieved.
solve their problems.
Exactly. Now the quiet ones.
Now the quiet ones are the ones actually who are deadly. Someone who does not want to share, someone who does not want
You
to
hurt
talk
them,
about
they
things.
keep it. You hurt them, they pile
By
it.
the time they burst out, they want to get a knife and just slaughter
cut.
you.
Because they have a pile of things against you. So one of the things I'm hearing, people, we need to talk.
Exactly.
Talk. If I've hurt you, and what's amazing is you find your husband, I know you've hurt him, or he has hurt you.
Yeah.
For you, you're just quiet alone.
Now me, I joke a lot. Now sometimes jokes are also being misunderstood.
Offensive.
You can joke around something, say, that shoe is red. And I don't like red.
And now
It's
me,
a
I
joke.
take
And they're like,
offense.
but this man, every
No,
shoe I
can't
buy,
he doesn't like
he doesn't
it.
like it. What's wrong with him? Now you keep it for yourself.
Keep it.
I
And
think
it
it's-
bothers my mind.
I
And
think we also need to understand our spouses, our partners. We need to know this kind of a person I got married to. How does he behave? There are people who
when
are
do I take him serious? When do I
take him?
not?
Exactly. Exactly. Now me, the first time I saw you coming, I saw a free style person. You get my point? But maybe that's not you.
That's true.
You get my point? Maybe when I get to know you, either you're a very serious person.
I doubt, but yes.
Exactly. So people you just rush into things. I maybe in the meetings or in the conference and someone raises up their hand and is over asking and you're like, "Hey, what's wrong with this person? Is he not even understanding things?"
And yet he's even doing it intentionally by sometimes.
Exactly.
So we need to understand our spouses.
Understand.
At what point should I take you seriously? At what point? But also what I'm getting, and for our viewers, I hope you're also picking something. Let us open up and talk. And talk even between ourselves, but also if you see your friend is struggling, say something. Instead of waiting at the grave and you're like, I knew it. I saw Brinko beating her all the time. You should have done something.
We have friends who just meet up to have a drink. They never talk about anything. Just talk about this, they talk about this, they don't talk about this, but they never even share anything. And someone goes to work with a problem. He leaves work with a problem. He goes to the Kasako with a problem. He goes
So
back
where-
home with a
why
problem.
wouldn't that person get an issue?
And now,
And by the way, Moses, it's mostly the men. For us ladies, we talk to our
but it's
friends.
two ways.
Oh, how?
Even us men, by the way, we talk.
To who?
Our friends.
Men's friends are for business, they are for what? They rarely actually share
for us, we talk
the real
about
issues.
we talk about our women. Say, neba nange ono mukazi simutegere enaku zino. And say, for you are still okay, but mine,
Now for
And
you, you're
that-
lucky.
And now, before you know it, is you go back home thinking now mine is an angel
I'm
because
not as bad as...
I thought she was not
But do you
good.
realize when you do that, you get better? You feel better about it?
And Mrs. Moore, it goes back to the other topic we started with. Talk about things. But also we need to know where to talk about.
That's also
things.
the other thing. You may talk to the wrong person.
You may talk, and the other thing I told you is that when you go to the other person who never loved or liked your wife in the beginning, and you're telling him, Banange, Fiona,
Fiona Chankola.
see you Fiona Gwenari man. At the end of that day,
Like we told you.
Fiona Gwenari Nakugamba, but I warned you.
Ugamba, you
I warned you.
insisted.
You remember when you were dating the girl? I told you that girl is not good.
So, now that we know, when you find you see your spouse is maybe not well, you ask them and talk to them, maybe involve a friend or something like that. At what point is it necessary to actually seek for professional help?
When things worsen. But then the question is, how do you know that things have really worsened?
Exactly. How do I know that now we have escalated?
Yeah, but those you can see the changes. Yeah, you can see the changes at home. You used to come back home when someone has ironed for you a shirt, and these days you're ironing for yourself. I think you have spent like 2 weeks. You're doing it yourself, and she has been doing it. maybe you have been going home and you find food on the table, dining,
This
and
time there's no
this
food.
time is like you can cook for yourself. You start to see changes
There's
in
a
the home.
problem.
There's really a big problem. Used to go home, go to church together in the same car. Now she's telling, I'll find you.
All those are signs.
Yes,
Now we
I'll
have
find
seen,
you.
viewers, haven't you seen most of those in our marriages? How come we've not asked
And
for
they're just
professional
watching.
help?
Things are getting worse, and for them, they are just there. And then when she gets time and she goes to talk to her friends, like, this man.
And he's not saying anything.
And he's not saying anything.
Seeing
and,
me.
And before you know it, she's getting out her bags. So where are you going? I have something I'm going to do. Maybe give me some time. I need some time alone. Haven't you had those things? I need some time
I know
alone.
most people will say I need some time away to just think about myself.
That means
evaluate
things are
myself.
not well. Because honestly speaking, if you need some time alone, then there's a problem with you having some time with me.
With me, my time alone should be with you.
Exactly.
We go together and have time alone.
How were the vows done in church?
That we become one.
Now you're becoming one again.
No, but also we've been told, even getting married does not mean you lose your individuality. You need to remain yourself. You need to have some time by yourself.
I think anyone who still thinks like that is not ready for marriage.
Okay.
Yeah. The truth is there is a lot to do in marriage, especially with space. You have to allow someone to inconvenience you. And you need to be offended for you to be okay. Because now, there's a time when I was putting on my clothes and I'm used to putting on this jean, we're going to church, and the t-shirt, and I'm putting on and my wife comes from the bedroom and she's like, no, I think you're not putting on that. And I'm like, but I'm fine. She said, no.
If you're moving with me, by those are
We are
things,
going
even-
together, you cannot put on like
You don't
that.
put on a jean
But
when
don't
we're
you
going
know
to
that-
church.
Don't you know that now you are married? So, hey.
What was wrong with my clothes before marriage?
Exactly.
But yet there is a sense, honestly, for me, there's some things.
And she
don't
goes to
go
the
with me.
wardrobe, she gets for you a shirt,
Put on
the
this.
shirt you didn't have in mind, and she's telling you, put on this. And then this jean, maybe you put it on Saturday,
Saturday,
but
in your own
put
things,
on this
not at
trouser.
church, yes.
And then you're dressing up, but in your mind you're dying. In your heart you're collapsing.
Like, what
just-
was wrong with me? I was okay. I was even smart.
I think she doesn't just like my clothes. Maybe muswaza.
Then your mind can spiral like that.
But in the recent, she was actually positive. Maybe we
Means
also
well.
need to understand how to perceive certain things.
The person meant well.
Exactly. She's telling you to put on this shirt for you to look nice with her.
So why are you thinking it is because of Muswaz? But when you look at these things, you're like, okay,
Exactly.
I could actually have gone with the other positivity.
You remember in your high school how you used to like your cascade card, and now someone's telling you, now you're married.
I want it the other
I
side.
want it just like, but me, I like this. This is nice for me. And now children are coming in. You say now you're a mother.
You can't be dressed like that.
And we have seen people who have failed to adopt changes.
That's true. That's true.
Someone has children, 9 years, 10 years, but she's still dressing up like
Like she's in high school.
high school. And before you know it, the kids are also dressing up like the mother. And now that's where the question is, the society has really changed, but society begins at home. Before we talk about the community setup, the first community is your nuclear family.
So, Moses, how do we, what is the question? Like, how do we help ourselves? What strategies can we put in place to make our mental health better in our marriages?
I think, as I said, this begins with us. Actually, to be honest with you, there is always good in everyone. But the problem is we tend to look at the bad side only. And the first and the beginning point of being depressed in marriage or being stressed is always looking at what has failed,
Looking at
what
the
has
bad.
what is not good, what she's doing wrong, what he's doing wrong, only that. But at one point there is a point when you're so good in this person. Always when we're getting married, we always have this fantasy. I am getting married to Mr. Right.
He's going to bring
I am
breakfast in
I am
bed.
getting yes.
He's going to take me out every weekend.
I did that the first week from our honeymoon.
What happened after?
I don't know. But sometime I think sometime you outgrow things, and then maybe you wake up late. You want
We need
you,
to
you,
work
you,
and
you
you're
want
there.
you want to go to office. Now, like today, I had to wake up early, do some few things, and do this, and then come for this, and then your mind
Then
is
you
not
first
even
have to make
home.
breakfast in bed.
Now you know, but that first week we were all off from work.
You were alone.
We were alone. Phones were in silence. So I'll do that. And oh, my wife loves that. There's a time we went for a marriage dinner, and they asked her, "What do you like most about your husband?" She said, "When he brings me breakfast in bed." And I'm at that dinner, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, when was the last time I did that?
You know?
Those are the things they like.
So we need to talk about some of these things.
Yes, and also you need to see the good side
Of the past.
Sometime in a day, just wake up in the morning and you're like, but this girl by there has a good smile.
She actually means.
Yes, by the way, this girl cares for me. You always need to see your wife as a girl.
Oh, yes. Continue.
You need to see her as a girl, because the moment you start to see your wife as a woman, she's good. She's going to annoy you.
That woman. That woman.
That woman. Remember in the Bible when Adam was asked, Adam, what have you done? What did he say?
The woman you gave
The
me.
woman you gave me. There was always a spirit behind the woman.
There's a woman that you gave me.
the sweetheart.
I didn't even ask for her. You just gave me.
Yeah, the sweetheart.
What are the common things now, leave alone all that, the things we can do at home as a couple to just make our mental health better, so that we don't wait for it first to go astray, and
I think over time and over, we need to go back to our first love.
Okay.
We need to remind ourselves about the things that actually attracted us
To this person,
to our partners.
they disappear.
They disappear. But with over the time, these things don't change, by the way.
That's true.
To be honest with you, the person you saw the first day is the same person
He
you're
is
still
now.
staying with up to now in your house.
Maybe not. They change.
The other time, the difference was maybe she used to visit once in a while.
Now she's here.
Now she's here.
Come on.
You're using the same toilet, you're using the same bathroom, you're using the same kitchen, you're using the same bedroom, using the same sitting room. She has children, she has to look after the children. Of course, there are a lot that has changed. But as I said, over time we need to flash back to remind ourselves on the things that really attracted us to these people. And these things, the real things have not changed.
Do you remember what attracted you to your spouse? Actually, that should be homework for us as married. What is that thing that attracted you to your spouse? Do you still see it? Have you can you pinpoint and say, you know what attracted me to Agaba was this and that?
And it's not me alone to say that. It's also a woman. She also has to say that.
Yes.
Because if it's me saying that, and then she's not saying that, then there's also another
There's a
problem.
problem.
So we both have to see those things, and that's in our African settings. Is before formally our great parents, they never used to date. They'll just bring for you a woman.
And
You
you
don't
go
know
and
her?
live happily ever after.
Exactly. So our grandparents used to just accommodate.
I'm just standing you because you've been given to me.
Yes, I remember there's a statement I used to hear is I'm here because of my children. Well, in the beginning there were no children.
So why were you there in the beginning?
Exactly.
So the whole point is go back to that point whereby it was me and you. Why did you choose me?
And for our homework as viewers is at your home there are things that you see and you know this is bad, but I am doing it. Let me do it to hurt her. Let me do him to teach her, do this to teach him a lesson. And you know this is wrong. This is wrong.
We need to stop hurting girlfriends intentionally.
Me, I have a brother of mine. He told me one thing that I've learned today is that he never, from the beginning, he told his wife, my maid should never serve me food. Our maid should never serve me food. In the beginning, they've been now married for 12 years, up to now. They all work. But even if he comes back late in the middle of the night, the wife will wake up, serve him food.
Those are special people.
And maybe one point, if he ever comes back home and the maid serves him, maybe that will be the beginning of every problem.
So we need to be able to go back to what did
But also we need to adjust.
Yes. If last time I didn't have children, now I have.
Exactly.
Now I'm showering the child, I have to serve you.
We need to adjust.
Serve yourself.
I mean, for some reasons, why would you come back
at midnight and
at
expect
midnight,
me to
the
serve
next day
you?
and then the other day, you know, you don't have a common routine. And then also, if we are living under the same roof, and you realize that this person is actually changing. You honestly speaking, you're saying the things are changing, and for you don't have the ability to sit down with this person. That means this person is no longer your friend.
So we need to go back to where we started.
Yes.
Go back to our first
Over
love.
time and time. Once in a month.
Keep reminding yourself.
Today I may go back and prepare that breakfast.
Please go on, at least for the sake of family.
And
TV
she's like,
viewers.
oh my goodness, he has done it again.
Yes.
That
And
is
will
another 1
refresh
year
it.
of marriage.
You want to make breakfast to take you for the whole year?
One
Oh,
thing
God.
can actually make
But
you
it
move.
can actually.
In Australia, they have a saying that a 1 minute nap takes you another mile. Like if you're driving a car, for a long distance,
You're tired.
and you feel you're tired, you park aside and take a 1 minute
No.
sleep, for 1 minute. And when you wake up, your mind is sober. It's the same thing in marriage. Take 1 minute nap and think about one good thing. Trust me, one good thing. Today let's do this homework.
Just one good thing.
About your spouse.
About your
you realize
spouse.
this person by there is an angel.
I hope you're taking notes. I am. And Moses, this has been a very beautiful conversation, though sadly we have to come to an end.
Amen.
But as we come to a close, what would be your parting shots for our viewers? You've given them homework, yes, but what would be the parting shots about having a good mental health in our marriages?
Let's help our mind. Let's help our mind, viewers. Let's look at ourselves first, because it begins with you. It begins with you. Your mental health is very important to you as a person, but also with your partner. When you're stable, when your mind is in a stable condition, your spouse lives a happy life. Let's go back to those basics. Let's talk to one another. Let's pray about things together. As a family, let's learn to work together towards some certain situations. Let's eat together. Some of you have not had a meal together as a family for a long time. You don't know your spouse, she doesn't know you, you don't know your children, you go back home late, you leave early in the morning. I mean, there's no coordination within the family. Let's pray for one another, let's work towards things together, let's have a humble and a happy life together in the house. Let's begin life together before anyone comes in. These things begin with us. Thank you very much. I think you can take that up, and if you begin today, tomorrow you'll give me testimonies. Thank you.
To that. Thank you very much, Moses,
You're
for the
welcome,
wonderful
Mrs.
conversation and for your time.
You're welcome.
And thank you very much, our viewers, for watching this. And I hope at least pick one thing. I picked one of the things is don't keep quiet. Some of us are really quiet, and it just messes up yourself and also your spouse. If there's an issue, talk about it. But also remind yourself, what is the one thing you loved about your spouse? And let's go back to that at least once in a year, and you'll be amazed at the results. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Fiona Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries.